Fly into danger on their mission to Mars. Forrest Whitaker is a samurai-style hitman in Ghost Dog. And the President of the United States faces a terrifying decision in Deterrence.
Trying not to go too nuts up here, but we think there's a good chance that this could be water. Of course, if that's correct, then we may have found the key to permanent human colonization.
Yes! Okay, we're ready to light this candle.
An interplanetary rescue is attempted in Mission to Mars, one of 5 new movies we're going to be reviewing this week. I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times.
And I'm David Poland. I write the Hot Button column for roughcut.com.
Nice to have you back, David. Our first movie is Mission to Mars, and it's one of those movies with a lot of good stuff in it and then a lot of other stuff, too. The movie opens with the first manned mission to the Red Planet, which ends with a mysterious final transmission and then silence. An emergency rescue mission is put together with a crew headed by co-pilots played by Gary Sinise and Tim Robbins. Also on board, Robbins' wife, played by Connie Nielsen, and crew member Jerry O'Connell.
Micrometeoroids. Kill those alarms!
Critical systems alert.
Now it's up to them to rescue themselves. There may still be survivors below from the earlier mission. At least that's what their approach survey indicates.
Scan northeastern quadrant of base camp. What the hell are those? Graves. Wait a minute, there's only 3 of them. Well, that means that Luke's still got to be alive. It means he's still down there.
It just means there is no one left to bury.
There were some spectacular special effects sequences in this film, including this one, where the crew members try a spacewalk to save their lives.
I'm gonna use the gun to slow you.
No! You slow me, I'll fall short.
It's too fast, Woody.
No choice! I'll be okay. Here we go! Gotcha.
Once on Mars, they find survivor Don Cheadle, who has an amazing tale to tell.
That's the face. It's the face. It's real. Somebody put that thing there. It's not us.
Mission to Mars was directed by Brian De Palma, who does a sensational job with 3 special effects sequences. These are moments when I really did feel a sense of wonder about space travel and about the possibility that Mars was once inhabited. Those sequences are surrounded, however, by other scenes that are too wordy and curiously low in energy. It's as if the movie wants to be a visionary action thriller but keeps lapsing into meditation and introspection and getting distracted. Strange how the same movie can be so good and so disappointing. I give Mission to Mars a marginal thumbs down.
My thumb is so much further down than yours on
really?
this picture. It's not even funny. This movie, by the 3rd act of this movie, people were rolling in the aisles of the theater I saw it with, and I was rolling along with them. Here's some of the silliest stuff I thought that I've ever seen in a serious space picture. It really was like a space soap opera.
Well, you know, I am a stone science fiction fan and have been ever since I was about 12 years old, and I loved the mathematics, the geometry of the spacewalk, where if you don't get it right, you got it totally wrong. Well, and I also love some of the special effects on the planet. I thought the alien looked totally ridiculous, kind of like an alien in Tomb Raider or something.
Well, and you have that moment where it's like the Indian on the side of the road crying over the garbage. It was very painful to watch. And then even when that spacewalk, which was actually a really nice idea, they end up looking like they're doing the bunny hop as they come together.
Well,
it was goofy.
I liked it when they're lined up like that and they're floating with the planet down below. I like that shot. I like that shot, but I don't recommend the movie.
A lot of beautiful shots, but my God, what a silly movie. It was a complete mess. Anyway, our next film is Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai. It's the latest from indie director Jim Jarmusch. And that subtitle is very important because the film has nothing to do with ghosts or dogs. Ghost Dog is the street tag of the film's central character, played by Forrest Whitaker.
Ghost Dog, power equality. Always see everything, brother.
But Ghost Dog is more than a cool-looking dude. He's also a professional hitman who lives and dies by the ancient code of the samurai. Ghost Dog works for a mafia crew out of respect for one wise guy who saved his life. The contrast between the aging mafiosos and the urban music and mindset of today is one of the great sub-themes of the film.
You know, the rappers, they all got names like that. Snoop Doggy Dogg, Ice Cube, Q-Tip, Method Man. My favorite was always Flavor Flav from Public Enemy. We got the funky, fresh fly flavor. Live lyrics in the bank of reality. I kick the flies, dope, maneuver technicality. Do a dope track. I love that guy.
I don't know anything about that. But it makes me think about Indians. You know, they got names like Red Cloud, Crazy Horse.
That was the legendary Henry Silva as the very confused mafia chief. One of the film's other very real charms is when Ghost Dog, the real lone gunman, lets a few people get close to him.
My mom says you never talk to nobody, and you got no friends.
I don't know your mom.
Is that true, though?
What?
That you never talk to nobody and you got no friends.
The entire film is a mix of wonderful performances by faces fresh and familiar, led by Forrest Whitaker, who carries this picture on his shoulders with seeming effortlessness. At its core, Ghost Dog is more philosophy than violence. Like Scorsese, Jarmusch understands that the most dangerous men can be the most sympathetic heroes. It's about a man with a timeless code of honor, and very few can claim that kind of honor, whether they're a rapper, an ice cream vendor, or a killer. Add Jarmusch's wacky sense of humor to the mix, and the journey actually becomes magical. Ghost Dog washed over me like a warm wave, making me think and feel and giving it an enthusiastic thumbs up.
You know, my thumb is way up, too. I really love this movie. I love the comedy in the scene where the gangsters are trying to comprehend the fact that they're communicating with this hitman by carrier pigeon.
Yeah.
That is a priceless scene. But I want to ask you something about Ghost Dog. He's mad, right? I mean, he's insane.
Ghost Dog?
Yes.
I don't
the
think
character, yes. He's very lonely.
Yeah.
He lives all by himself on a roof with his pigeons.
Mm-hmm.
He reads the Code of the Samurai, and he acts out this fantasy that has no connection with reality.
Well, I think this is how the man has saved his life.
The man saved his life.
No, he saved his own life by embracing this philosophy. I think he understands that the world around him is this world of violence and all these terrors, and his way of doing it is to go inside.
Yeah, well, he lives in a dangerous neighborhood, but it'd be a lot safer if he moved, because after all, he's the hitman. I mean, the more I think about this character, the more I realize that if you read about this guy in the paper or ever wound up in court, he would be judged insane.
Well, that's true.
And that lends a kind of poignancy, an additional level of sadness and a touching quality to what is otherwise just kind of a mob comedy violence picture. It makes it deeper, I think.
Well, I think for me, it's all about the code. Ultimately, some of the mafia guys actually live by that code also. The Henry Silva character is as willing to go to his end for what he believes in as Ghost Dog is for what is a better philosophy, theoretically.
Yeah, but let's face it, in today's world, anyone who lives by that code is nuts.
Unfortunately, that may be true.
Okay, coming up later in the show, Kevin Pollak tries to steer America out of global warfare in Deterrence. And coming up next, Angelica Houston is a widow building a new life as Agnes Browne.
I'll tell you something, Agnes. We're here for a good time, not a long time.
Oh, Kathy. I never leave you. With the Browns. We stick together, right? But you're all gonna have to help me out.
Angelica Houston plays an Irish mother of 7 in Agnes Browne, a film she directed herself, and she's warm-hearted and convincing in the title role as a woman who runs a stall in a Dublin street market and has just become a widow. Being single again isn't so bad, she finds. She likes the freedom of being able to form close friendships outside the home, and her best pal, played by Marion O'Dwyer, runs the next stall in the market.
No, you can't say you never enjoyed it, Agnes.
Enjoyed what?
No. The organism.
I never done one. I don't think they exist.
They do. I swear, Agnes, they do. I done too.
Money is always short in the Brown family, and that involves run-ins with Mr. Billy, played by Ray Winston, who is the local loan shark.
I've already given you the £16 in interest. And now you're all paid up in a lump sum. I'm finished.
You're finished, all right. Don't you ever ask me for a loan again.
Agnes and Marion have a heart-to-heart talk about what really makes you happy?
Like, I was hoping to get a couple of tickets to the Tom Jones concert. By the time I had enough money, they were all gone, sold out.
All of this is sweet and good-natured and easy to watch, but Agnes Browne doesn't really add up to very much, and the ending feels more like a stunt than a resolution of anything. I like the way Angelica Houston fit into the role. She spent a lot of her childhood in Ireland, and she has the right voice and the right body language, but the final result is thin and kind of superficial, more like a sitcom than like a look at real people.
Yeah, I thought you were actually going to go thumbs up on this picture.
No.
I like Angelica Houston as an actress, and I love her as a director, and yet I didn't like her in the combination. I felt like she was really separate from the rest of the movie in this picture. Like, her character was bigger and different than the rest of the characters in the movie. And all the casting was really good. There were a lot of lovely moments. It was very kind of gentle, rollicking Irish film. But there was something about her that, to me, stood out. The other thing is that she's not a very sympathetic character, and she seems more powerful, I think, as an actress than she did as a character of Agnes Browne.
It's
more
hard
control.
for somebody so dynamic as Angelica Houston to play kind of basically a simple-minded, simple little person.
Yes, who lets the world kind of climb over her.
One thing that I didn't like was the whole subplot involving Tom Jones. I don't want to give that away, except to say that, as I said in my review, it was more like a stunt. I mean, that's not really convincing. I mean, it doesn't really seem to grow out of the lives of these people.
It's become a standard thing, I think, in the Irish comedies that you have to have some sort of hook like that to push you through to the comedy.
I guess.
Coming up next, Kevin Pollak may go nuclear in Deterrence.
We have the power. We have the oil.
I have the match. Unless your leader, Uday Hussein, immediately withdraws from his position in Kuwait, leaving all weapons behind where they are, and turns himself in for arrest at the American Embassy in Kuwait, I will authorize the dropping of a multi-megaton nuclear device on the city of Baghdad.
That's Kevin Pollak as the none-too-popular president in the new thriller Deterrence. It's now 2008. Saddam Hussein Jr. is in charge of Iraq, and the military issues are at hand, but the president is stuck in a diner in the middle of nowhere with his closest aides. The decision has to be made, will he or won't he drop the big one? Well, only the screenwriter knows for sure. In this case, that screenwriter and director is Rod Lurie, an LA-based film critic turned director. This is his first feature, and though it shows at times, he makes the best of a good group of actors, including Timothy Hutton.
You are going to be wiping out Baghdad. There's going to be nothing left. No rebuilding, no aid, nothing. Just cockroaches. You will be wiping out a civilization where civilization began.
A little later, similar worries come from the president's wife.
Realize you're killing just civilians, Walter. No soldiers, no Uday, just civilians.
Men don't have a choice.
You're the president of the United States, Walter. You've got all the choice in the world.
This is your basic clock movie. The story sets an alarm for 90 minutes in, and then the director tries to keep the tension building throughout. And though Lurie does that effectively, and the cast does a nice job, the film shoots itself in the foot, at least figuratively, in the last reel. I don't want to tell you what happens, but the conclusion of the film goes from having a classic plot point to becoming a flag-waving pomposity that slides into arrogance and reckless cruelty. Perhaps this makes Deterrence the conversation starter movie of the year, but it also forces me to point my thumb down on this movie.
My thumb is up because the movie worked for me, and yet I agree with your criticisms. There was a scene in this movie where the president says, let's go outside to two of his guys, and I'm going to tell you something. Then they go outside, and we stay inside. Then they come back in, and now they all know something we don't know, and that leads to a contrived ending that is not convincing, and you're right, is a little cruel.
Well, unfortunately, I don't even think you notice that as you see the movie, so the point of it, which is really quite cruel, just doesn't even sink in, doesn't even make a point of saying
So after you walk out of the movie and start talking about it, you have a lot of questions. But while this movie is playing, it had me with it every second. It worked for me. It worked as a thriller. It was one of these closed room, closed set, snowstorm outside, end of the world dramas. Pollak is very good. The whole cast is very good. And it works, and then after you think about it, then it falls apart.
Well, I agree with you, which is why I can't set my thumb in the northern direction there.
Okay, well, my thumb is up until you get to the last 10 minutes, and then, okay. But I'm giving it a thumbs up because I enjoyed myself. Okay, let's talk now about a new experiment in exhibition. The Shooting Gallery film series is offering 6 new films, 2 weeks apiece, in 19 cities with discussions by local film critics, and it's a great showcase for films that deserve to be seen but haven't been able to find conventional distribution where everybody wants to open movies in 3,000 screens on the same day with a $40 million ad campaign. These aren't those kinds of movies. The film opening this weekend is Orphans, written and directed by actor Peter Mullen, who you may remember from My Name is Joe and also from Miss Julie, which we reviewed just last week. It's 24 hours in the lives of three brothers and a sister in Glasgow, Scotland, after their mother has died. Gary Lewis plays the oldest, who insists on shouldering more than his weight of family responsibilities.
I think you'll find she's too heavy.
She ain't heavy. She's my mother.
Meanwhile, their sister in a wheelchair rebels against the way she's treated in the family.
What the hell, Sheila? You smashed the Virgin Mary?
Orphans has some extraordinary scenes in it, but I never knew how seriously to take this movie. Sometimes it's a gritty slice of life, and sometimes it's a deliberately absurd fantasy. The actors create totally believable scenes and then follow them with scenes of broad exaggeration and even magic realism. There was so much doubling back and forth that although I was never bored, I wasn't exactly convinced either. I have to give it a marginal thumbs down, but among the other films in the Shooting Gallery series, which come from India, Japan, Ireland, England, and the United States, is one called Croupier by Mike Hodges, which I've also seen. It tells the story of a deeply cynical London man who's forced into a scheme to defraud a casino. It's spare and hard-boiled, and it has a wicked twist at the end, and I liked it.
Now, I haven't had a chance to see either of those pictures, but I did see Judy Berlin, which played at Sundance and has a great performance by Dee Falco. The thing about this whole thing is that people are going to see these movies. There's so many weak movies in the marketplace right now, big movies. People in Los Angeles I talk to are going to see these pictures in these small theaters, and it's a great thing.
Yeah, if you sign up for the Shooting Gallery Club, you can go to a preview of each film, and a film critic from in town will lead a discussion afterwards, or you can just go at regular prices when they play in the theaters. And it's a good way, it's a good showcase for these kinds of films.
They deserve them.
I'm looking forward to the other titles in the collection. For information and a list of the cities involved, go to www.shootinggallery.com. When we come back, the video pick of the week, a film from China for viewers of all ages.
Roger Ebert in the Movies Video Pick of the Week is brought to you by Nestle Raisinets. At the movies or at home, Raisinets.
My video pick this week is The King of Masks, a touching and colorful Chinese film that's recommended for the whole family, and by that I mean, yes, for adults too. It's not going to bore older people. Sometimes when you say family film, you think kids, but this is a wonderful film. It's about an old man who is a brilliant and famous street performer and can change his face in the blink of an eye by manipulating silk masks. He fears his secrets will die with him, and since times are desperate and poverty is extreme, they're actually selling children. He goes into a child market and buys himself a son, so he thinks. But his new child is not a boy, but a girl who pretended to be a boy because there just wasn't much of a market for girls.
小小年纪的勾结人贩子，你骗我老江湖，我真是笨拙。
我不是骗子，我让人买过7回了。
There's a thrilling ending as the old man is accused of a crime he didn't commit, and his daughter tries to save him.
狗娃看我年老无后，给我送来个孙子。好，说下去。这个狗娃是哪家喷头？什么绰号？是来龙还是作报？狗娃，他不是龙。
The King of Masks is a wonderful film, and when we reviewed it on the program last July, a lot of people told me how much they had enjoyed it. They sought it out, and they were really happy that they saw it. Of course, it didn't play widely, but now it's available on VHS and new this week on DVD, and it's my video pick of the week. Now let's take another look at the movies we reviewed on this week's show. 2 thumbs down for Mission to Mars, although I thought it did have some great special effects sequences. 2 thumbs up for Ghost Dog, the stylish samurai gangster film by Jim Jarmusch. But 2 thumbs down for Agnes Browne with Angelica Houston as an Irish widow. And finally, a split vote on Deterrence. David thought it derailed at the end. I sort of agree, but it worked for me anyway, at least until the end.
Yeah, the movie I love this week is Ghost Dog, which had style and substance, and then the movie I hated was Mission to Mars, which had a lot of style and no substance.
But great special effects sequences.
Great special effects sequences made for your DVD player.
Okay, thanks a lot for being here this week. Remember, you can hear our reviews on the web at ebert-movies.com, David and myself. It's part of Go Network. And my print reviews are online at suntimes.com/Ebert. Next week, reviews of more new movies, including Erin Brockovich, with Julia Roberts as a woman who talks her way into a legal job, and also the psychological thriller Final Destination. That's next week, and until then, the balcony is closed.